Okay, so let's have a quick look. So it has come to S8 now. There's always something that I can add, but the point is, S8 is my limit. This S6, so yellow was the first warning, right? When we had a couple of calls, when it was weakening, rejected by S5. Then S6 was another protection, and it reacted as well. Then it reacted near S7 as well, and so on. S8 last major support. So from a technical point of view, it can bounce from lower level. Why I said last major support means after that, from my point of view, it will become very weak, where it the survival chance of survival would be very slim. That's why I said last major support. See, the worst case, I mean, in the worst case scenario, it could go down up to this level and still bounce. Like here, what happened? Crazy move, right? It made a new low and then went up and then again came down and went up. So that this kind of a scenario is possible. But the point is, this range or level is the ultimate range, right? If something happens from here, magic, then fine. Magic could happen from here as well, but this currently looks very weak. So what we need is this kind of a bounce on a weekly scale. Anything on daily is not good enough. We need a strong bounce on a weekly time frame, like this one. Strong candle, like what we saw here. This is a strong candle, right? We would like to see a strong bounce first of all in this week, you know, recovering, and then second week should start from here and then continue going up third week fourth. Essentially, it has to, if I may extend this one, right now, so this is where it starts. Eventually it has to break above this purple line, right, to start with. I mean, of course all these levels matter, but this it has to break this trend and then break above 45k, which is this range. Okay, that's the requirement. Then ultimately this level is, but we have, this is like right now looks very far. So you can see here the pressure is still on the downside, but I believe that this can hold, this level is maybe able to hold it for some time. So how long it will be able to hold, I'll have to see. Is right now the pressure is too high, but each support zone is a potential point where we could get a bounce. So what we're missing is we're getting bounce, but we're missing is the strong bounce. That's what is happening. Each time it bounces, the height is always, shallow. I mean, not high enough. So that has been a problem. Right? So there were multiple attempts here, you could see, but not able to break above set resistance zone. So that has been a problem. Now this level is we can say last major retest level of this. So this is very common pattern you have observed. So as I said, ideally, we would like to see a good bounce halfway, at least halfway, reaching 38k plus. Okay, and then in this week at least, and next week it should continue with a second green candle like this. If you can get a green candle like this and able to break about this zone 40 to 44 45k level, this is a very heavy resistance zone, right? If it can do that, right, and able to reach this zone, then we're talking about something big. Okay, still finally it has to punch through 53k 53k zone. This is another major retest level, I mean support zone. So now resistance. So this is also a major roadblock. Um, but because it's too far, I'm not talking too much about it. Okay, there's some time. Anyways, first it has to break apart. So now situation is tricky. Uh, let's say, let me hide all these drawings, and maybe we should go to our bitstamp chart. Maybe that was used for weekly. See, this is what is happening. If I sometimes, okay. One way to look at it is this is a rectangular pattern, extremely simple pattern. Okay, so we want somewhere here. It's here. Um, what is good thing is it's above the white line. So forget about precise level. At this moment, I'm connecting this, and this. So this is still above this. So the angle of this is such where we can say this is still, this can survive if it can bounce from here on. If it breaks below white line, that means likely to break this one. And that's why we had added this gray box here, because there were so many spikes. What we don't want is touching the orange line in this zone. We don't want price to be here. See, the crypto is crazy. You never know. I mean, people could pump from here as well. But the point is, um, we will rely more on bounce, not support. That's my message. Okay. So I'm going to give different support level, right? And each support, it's okay to expect some bounce and recovery. It's okay. But the point is, without forgetting that what is happening. Okay, that's a condition, right? It's going down right now. It has to reach. So as long as you know the big picture, that what is the required level, uh, we are fine. There is no harm in expecting some positive bounce at different support level, which is because that's the reason why we add support. So we could have a checkpoint. So each support is a checkpoint. So there's still some room here. So we would like BTC to bounce off this level, white level, white line level, which is so there is some scope here. It could go down by $1,000, still $1,000 as far as this is concerned. Anyways, this is heavy support zone, and if it could bounce from here and break above, then we are talking about coming out of this mess. The pattern is still bullish, by the way. When I say this bullish means as long as this is not breached, this from a weekly time frame point of view. So I just want to make sure there's no there's no ambiguity in my message. When I talk about still the bull trend or uptrend is still intact, simply because this is my main trend, and then this is a major down drawdown, and then another attempt, and then a retest. So if you look at, this is a retest of this low, and this, the move that you see here is a retest of this low. Okay, now the thing is, still, because this is, but the direction is, this direction is down, this direction is still up. Okay, so as far as the main trend is concerned, we are having a 1 year of consolidation. Okay, this is whole entire 1 year of consolidation, over 1 year of consolidation. Okay, and When I say it's going right now down, I'm talking about this particular wave, a counter trend. Okay, so this is to be understood. And but so if this continue going down and comes to this level, then it will put tremendous pressure. Here it's survive, but then if it comes down to this level, then the probability of survival would be very thin. Okay, very less. And breakdown from here could be nasty, very ugly if it happens, because you can imagine over 1 year of consolidation. So at this moment, we don't have to think about doomsday scenario or doomsday, level. We don't need to, but we need to understand what are the key levels, and if they are not maintained, what might happen next. Okay. Um, Strategy wise, it's very hard to trade, to be honest. Even unless you are online, in front of the screen, then it's okay. Otherwise, it's extremely hard. So if you're thinking that it's very hard, it's natural. First of all, it's obvious. It's extremely hard, right? The pressure, because there's too much of volatility. But if you look at the weekly chart, there's no volatility actually. When it was rejected, I mentioned that there's a weekly scale matters. No other scale matters. If you refer my weekly call, and that's where I mentioned about potential downside. No, so there is clarity when you look at a weekly. So when you have to understand what is happening from a big picture, you have to come to weekly. If you go further down, then you will face volatility, you will face uncertain movement. Okay, and that is obvious. um, so and this is Bitcoin. Even else would make even more volatile move. So I mean unpredictable moves. In my opinion, not a advice, but times like this, I mentioned multiple times actually, um, unless you're online and watching, better to deal with something which is slower moving. Okay, and it's very easy to spot, um, especially especially when it is getting rejected, right? Then you have to be careful. At this moment, people would be worried, but I'm less worried at this moment because it is near the support zone. um, you have to worry more when it is rejected at a resistance. Okay, people think it's a big drop, 5-6%, but let me tell you, oh, Nifty is also down. My Indian stock index. Anyway, I had to take care of that as well. I'm managing my father's account. Um, so point is, this is going. This is to me, the risk of further going down is currently little less because it has already dropped by 5-6%. See, BTC in my experience is not a coin which drops for 15%. Okay, it used to happen in past, but these days no. So when you see 5-6%, and if it is near the support, you should worry lesser comparatively. It looks very right now gloomy, but it's not. What you have to, so we'll again go deep, we'll zoom in and I'll show you. So this looks bad, but Bitcoin's nature is such, it doesn't repeat this kind of a 6% move, very very rare occasion. What it does, it bounces. It bounces, and let me zoom out even further. So this is anyway a big one. This is not like a pump and dump coin, which would go down by 20% in a one go. It might go incrementally, but in a one shot, 5 to 10% max, that range. So to me, if this has dropped this much, what it could do is it can swing in a very narrow range and then try to go up. Okay. However, what you might see here is that it may not reach to certain level, consolidate and make a new leg. So that's a possibility. However, making this kind of a move from here is very less probable. So the opportunity of, I mean, the probability of bounce is very high from here. This is the nature of BTC that I observed. You cannot say the same for the alt, because they could go down by 20%, 30%, 40%. You can never say, but for Bitcoin you can say that, especially when it is near the support zone. Okay, so if you look at it, its behavior reacted here, then reacted from here. So there is always, you will find a cluster near the support zone. So you're going to find a cluster here. So things like this. So this is how it moves. Okay, so to me, at this moment, this is an opportunity, which sounds counterintuitive, but opportunity not from a long-term point of view, but a short-term point of view. Provided you watch it and make sure that if it makes new low, then you have your risk management plan in place. If you could do that, then this is a potential opportunity. Okay, now when I say opportunity, means opportunity as long as the bounce continues. What you have to watch is how far it goes. Okay, and the weakness, if it's a first reaction is going to be somewhere here, right, in near 37,000 level, and if it could break above that, then of course this earlier support, right, and then if it can break above, then this one, and so on. What else? Let me see. So it's created. If you're TA, you would notice that first a small loop and a bigger loop, a bigger loop and a bigger loop. You see that? It's like not sure. I won't be able to explain, but it's like this: small, bigger, and then a bigger. So from here, it has to bounce in order to make a bigger, even bigger. So bounce is there has to be a bounce. Then it could make a bigger one if it has to. But from here going down like this, ah, unlikely. But yeah, it's not that I know the future, but I have not seen such move. So at this moment, whatever damage it had to do, it has done it. So it will buy in some time. That's what I would say. Okay, anyone, any question? Because this is what I wanted to cover. Yeah, I wouldn't know. Let me know. Any question? Oh, I'll stop recording, and so you can freely